Thank you, Madam Speaker. David Spunt with Fox News. I appreciate it. Speaking about some of these big issues that you have over the next several days, I want to read something that my colleague got from Congressman Yarmouth. He said, I think our caucus understands that essentially we're all Joe Manchin. With the margins we have, everybody has the ability to tank whatever we're trying to do. We have zero margin. Essentially, everybody's in a position to sabotage whatever we're doing. Do you feel that way?
No, I feel that we are building consensus in a very positive way, and Congress will work its will in a way that is respectful. We have in our party a common core, and that is we are here for America's working families. And I have no doubt that we will have legislation to help America's working families.
Your response that there are rifts in the Democratic Party?
No, there aren't rifts. We're a Democratic Party. We're not a lockstep rubber stamp. Who would want to belong to a party like that? You could cross the aisle and do that. But we are a party of ideas and dynamism, and we respect differences of opinion. But at the end of the day, we know we will have unity to promote the well-being of America's working families. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm with CNS News. The Supreme Court this fall will review a Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Is an unborn baby at 15 weeks a human being?
Let me just say that I am a big supporter of Roe v. Wade. I am a mother of 5 children in 6 years. I think I have some standing on this issue as to respecting a woman's right to choose.
Is it a human being?
Yes. Yeah, but, yes, ma'am.
On infrastructure, there's some in the Senate and on the left and some in the House who say that the bipartisan package has to include expansive, bold climate change provisions in order for them to support the bipartisan component. Is that a position that you take, or would it be okay to include those perhaps in the reconciliation bill that's also being formulated?
Well, I don't think there's any question that the more bipartisan a bill is, the less green it is, because the Republicans, in addition to being in the pocket of the fossil fuel industry, of gun industry, are in the pocket of the fossil fuel industry. And that's one of the reasons it's hard for us to get as much as we want on high-speed rail and mass transit and the rest, because they want people in cars on the road using gas. But we will have provisions for electrification, which some of the Republicans have not been enthusiastic about. I'm not worried about what you proposed. We know that the one bill is not going to do it for us. We have to have a bill that not just about addressing green, but addressing women, people who are in charge, people with disabilities who need care and the rest, so that their family members and they can fully participate in how we go forward. I don't think that that's a problem. I think it's important for people to say what their priorities are as we develop how we go forward. 1 step, 2 step. I don't think that's the debate. I think the debate is where do we want to end up and how will that happen? And I'm very confident that we will have a bill that you cannot build infrastructure without resilience and sustainability and protecting our planet. You just can't. So whether it's in the actual bill or otherwise, we could not be better served than the chairman of our committee. Peter DeFazio has been for 30 years, or maybe a little bit more, on the Committee of Transportation and Infrastructure. He was the chairman of the Natural Resources Committee before that. Not before that, but simultaneous with that. He hasn't been here that long. And nobody knows better how to make transportation resilient, how to use different materials to be protecting the planet as we move people and create jobs. So I think we're in a good place, and I don't see a whole lot of value in deciding whether it's 1 bill or 2 bills. We're going to get the job done. We're going to get the job done. Yes, sir.
Several Republicans have filed a lawsuit to try to knock down the fines to enforce the metal detectors outside the House chamber. Is there a plan as to when, if ever, those will be removed? Or
No.
is the idea that they'll stay
No,
indefinite?
no. As long as there is a threat, we'll have to have protection.
Is there any
Yes, sir.
concrete measure that gauges whether there's a threat?
Okay? I just said no.
Do you have, substance. The pay-fors have now come out. Assuming you've talked to some of your members that have been involved in these discussions, decidedly smaller, different pay-fors than you would want. I'm curious if you have any reaction to that.
Well, I don't know that we've seen all of the implications of the pay-fors. I myself do not think we should be taking money out of the pockets of people on unemployment or take money out of the rescue package because it's there for a purpose. But let's just see what it is. The administration, I know, will be reviewing this. I haven't, frankly, seen all of it. As you know, it's very new, and it's not just what is in the public domain, but what's in the devil frequently and the angels are frequently in the details. So let's just see. But I think the first order of business is, what is this for? I've never been one to talk about pay-fors at the beginning of any discussion on infrastructure. What does the country need? What is in the bill to help meet those needs? And then let's just see where we go from there. So I don't start with pay-fors and work back.
That's where they're starting. So you have, it seems that you have an issue with this process.
Well, I just for one thing that I thought I'm not even sure if it's in, but the one thing they were going to do was expand the gas tax. I would not be for that. I don't think that American people, America's working families, should be footing the bill for roads and bridges and the rest that America's wealthiest people and their businesses are using without paying for them. So I just have not been for expanding the gas tax. We have a gas tax. Expanding it is more the issue.
Last question.
That's
Speaker,
right.
a follow-up. Do you expect that enabling Medicare to negotiate over the cost of prescription drugs will be included in the reconciliation package?
I hope so. We have since 2005, 2006, enabling the secretary to negotiate for prescription drug prices, lower prescription drug prices, has been a high part of our agenda. When we won in 06, 07, in the first 100 hours, we passed our 6 for 06. The 6 most important bills, including raising the minimum wage at that time, it hadn't been increased in 11 years. All 6 of them became law, except enabling the secretary to negotiate for that. So we've been fighting for that for a long time. Whether it's part of one package or another remains to be seen, but we will persist because when we did the Affordable Care Act, we did so to lower the cost of health care for all Americans, and we did, except in one area, the cost of prescription drugs. So this is something that we will persist on, and when we prevail, it will enable us to expand benefits in Medicare to dental, visual, hearing, and the rest. And it's hundreds of billions of dollars that will be saved. So this is a core value for us where we have great support in our caucus and have had for what was that, 05? Now what are we, over 15 years.
But there are centrist Democrats who have raised concerns about that negotiation piece.
In the House, 1 or 2?
More like 10.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, the point is, do you want to vote to enable the pharmaceutical companies to have America's families subsidize lower cost for prescription drugs in other countries, where they're paying 3, 4, 5 times less than we are paying as we subsidize the research and development for it. So I think that I don't even see it being 10. Maybe you do, but I get a different response to them on what they would vote for as part of lowering the cost of prescription drugs in the United States and not subsidizing the cost of prescription drugs in other countries, enhancing the profits of the pharmaceutical companies to the tune of $500 billion or maybe more, and would they be opposed to using that money for better benefits for people on Medicare? That's an eternal debate. That is one that we all welcome and respectful of opinions. Now, I come from an area that has a lot of pharmaceutical industry, research, and the rest, And you have to be a patient investor to be an investor in a pharmaceutical company because it takes a long time for discovery and approval and the rest. But we don't want you spending the money that you make on television ads and passing that on to our constituents. Thank you all very much. We have a vote on the floor.
you.
When are you gonna reopen Baker's Law?